In a world where geopolitical tensions run high and the vast oceans are patrolled by naval powers, unexpected encounters can spark significant drama. Today, we delve into an incident involving a Chinese spy submarine that got alarmingly close to a U.S. aircraft carrier. What transpired during this high-stakes encounter? Join us as we unravel the details of this incident and explore its implications. To grasp the importance of this encounter, we first need to contextualize the setting. The South China Sea is a vital region for global trade, with about one-third of the world's shipping passing through its waters. It's also a hotspot for military activity, with various nations asserting their claims over this strategic area. The U.S. Navy conducts regular operations in the South China Sea, reinforcing its commitment to maintaining freedom of navigation and countering China's expansive territorial claims. The USS Ronald Reagan, one of the most advanced aircraft carriers in the world, was on a routine mission, conducting flight operations to showcase its capabilities and deter potential adversaries. This formidable vessel boasts a full complement of aircraft, including fighter jets and surveillance drones, making it a central element of U.S. naval strategy. But while these carriers are symbols of power, they also represent targets for adversaries looking to gather intelligence. The incident unfolds. On that fateful day, the U.S. Ronald Reagan was operating in the South China Sea, conducting a series of flight operations. The crew was well-trained and prepared for a variety of scenarios. Suddenly, sonar operators aboard the carrier detected unusual underwater sounds that indicated the presence of a submarine. Initial assessments suggested it was a Chinese Type 039, a UN-class submarine known for its stealthy capabilities and intelligence-gathering missions. This particular class of submarine has been designed with advanced technology that allows it to operate quietly and evade detection, making it an effective asset for maritime espionage. As the submarine drew closer to the carrier, tensions aboard the USS Ronald Reagan escalated. The proximity of an adversarial submarine during military operations posed significant risks. The Navy activated emergency procedures to assess the submarine's intentions. Was it merely conducting surveillance, or did it have more sinister motives? The U.S. Navy took immediate action, launching aircraft from the carrier to investigate the underwater presence. These aircraft were equipped with advanced sensors and surveillance equipment, ready to gather intelligence and confirm the identity of the submarine. As the reconnaissance aircraft flew overhead, the Chinese submarine attempted to dive deeper to evade detection. It was a tense game of cat and mouse, with both sides aware that a miscalculation could lead to a serious incident. On board the U.S. Ronald Reagan, crew members were trained for such scenarios, but the reality of the situation was nerve-wracking. The aircraft continued their search patterns, attempting to gather visual confirmation of the submarine. The stakes were high. A confrontation could escalate rapidly, leading to a potential military clash. The U.S. Navy emphasized the importance of safe navigation and communication, knowing that misunderstandings could easily lead to conflict. A close call. As the aircraft circled the area, they focused on pinpointing the submarine's location. It was essential to determine whether the Chinese submarine was merely gathering intelligence or if it posed an immediate threat to the carrier and its crew. Meanwhile, the submarine's crew was likely aware of the heightened alert. The presence of U.S. aircraft above indicated that they had been detected. It's a common tactic for submarines to conduct reconnaissance missions near enemy vessels, but getting too close can be a risky endeavor. The crew of the USS Ronald Reagan remained vigilant, prepared for any eventuality. The threat of an underwater collision or a miscommunication was ever present. The proximity of the submarine to the carrier's operations could compromise the safety of flight operations and the overall mission. Diplomatic fallout. Once the immediate threat had been assessed and diffused, the incident triggered significant diplomatic ripples. The U.S. Defense released a statement underscoring the need for adherence to international maritime law and the importance of safe conduct at sea. They reiterated their commitment to ensuring freedom of navigation in the region. In response, China reacted definitively, asserting that the submarine was conducting routine operations in its territorial waters. The Chinese government characterized the U.S. military presence in the South China Sea as provocative, accusing it of escalating tensions. This encounter not only showcased the complexities of military engagements, but also highlighted the precarious nature of U.S.-China relations. The world was closely watching, aware that each naval maneuver could have far-reaching consequences. Analyzing the implications, What does this incident reveal about modern naval warfare and the balance of power? The increasing frequency of close encounters between U.S. and Chinese forces highlights a new era of military engagement where both sides are testing boundaries and signaling their capabilities. The use of submarines for intelligence gathering is not a new tactic, but the stakes have risen significantly. With advanced sonar systems and underwater drones becoming more common, the ability to detect and track submarines is evolving. This leads to an ongoing cat-and-mouse game beneath the waves. As geopolitical tensions persist, these encounters are likely to become more frequent. The balance of power in the South China Sea hangs in the balance, and both nations must navigate a complex web of diplomacy and military readiness to prevent miscalculations that could spiral into conflict. The potential for misunderstandings or miscommunications in such high-pressure situations could have disastrous results. The world remains on edge, with every close encounter serving as a reminder of the delicate balance between military might and diplomatic engagement. Historical context. To fully appreciate the significance of this incident, it's essential to consider the historical context of U.S.-China naval interactions. The South China Sea has long been a contested region, with various nations asserting territorial claims based on historical, legal, and strategic grounds. In recent years, China has ramped up its military presence, constructing artificial islands and establishing military bases in disputed waters. The U.S., in response, has increased its naval patrols and conducted freedom of navigation operations to challenge China's claims. This dynamic has created a precarious situation where both nations are vying for influence while remaining on high alert. Encounters like the one involving the Chinese submarine and the USS Ronald Reagan reflect the broader geopolitical struggle for dominance in the region. Each incident adds another layer of complexity to an already fraught relationship, with the potential for escalation always lurking in the background. The role of technology. Technology plays a pivotal role in modern naval warfare, influencing everything from surveillance to communication. The advancements in sonar technology have enhanced the U.S. Navy's ability to detect submarines, while China continues to develop stealth capabilities for its naval fleet. The Type 039, a UN-class submarine, represents a significant leap in Chinese naval technology, designed for both anti-submarine and intelligence-gathering missions. Its quiet operation makes it a formidable adversary, capable of operating close to U.S. vessels without being easily detected. As both nations invest in cutting-edge technologies, the race for naval supremacy intensifies. While military might is a tool of influence, diplomacy remains essential in preserving peace. As nations continue to assert their influence and navigate the challenges of modern war, the world watches closely, aware that the next incident could have even more significant consequences. As we look to the future, it's clear that understanding, communication, and restraint will be vital in maintaining stability in an increasingly complex geopolitical landscape. Thank you for joining us as we explored this high-stakes scenario. Remember to subscribe for more insights into the world of international relations and military affairs.